Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in kind of, I want to say, like a top five comments or questions or inquiries that I've gotten in 2017 and a little bit of an answer or give and take, kind of a dialogue, if you will, that I receive here on the Peace and Harmony channel. And much love to the Empowered Harmonizers. Hope it's been a great year for you, 2017, and let's hope it's an even better 2018. And now looking at a lot of the comments that I receive, and thank you so much for your viewership, your support, your comments, your inquiries. I do my best to respond to those on a timely basis. And I receive a flood of emails, so please be aware that I'm reading the comments. I don't have time to answer all the emails that I get, but thank you so much for your viewership and your comments. And I would say one of the top 5 comments that I receive is that it's been going on for so long. OMG, I can't believe that I have done this to myself and I've put myself through this for this amount of time. 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years. I think the longest viewer comment was it's been like 28 years. And so if you have been suffering, in a relationship where you are not living life in complete bliss, where you're not just really happy, you are just suffering on a day-to-day basis. Basically, someone is triggering you, someone's emotionally manipulating you, making you feel frustrated. In fact, they just spend all day just trying to push your buttons. You might as well be a flip screen because, boy, they're just trying to find every button that they can push on you all throughout the day, and you're sick and tired of it. Relationships are not meant to be like button pushers. You're meant to have some joy. You're meant to be able to fulfill some dreams, have some laughs, have some tears, have a family, have some children, have some pets, have a home, a place to live, some things to eat, some stories and positive memories. Your life is not, if it's been, dragged through the coals and it's less than mediocre, and you are not happy and just fulfilled and not able to enjoy happiness on a day-to-day basis, then it's because, part of you had felt that this was what a relationship was, is that it was meant to be something that requires a lot of work. And it does. But putting up with abuse is not what is required. In fact, when the relationship becomes too much work, it's too high maintenance. It just requires too much out of you emotionally. He said, she said, you're, always trying to battle things out, go head to head, toe to toe, I can't, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? It's just too much of a banter. Then there is something wrong. Or, you are not meant to stay in and suffer that. And whatever it is that's requiring you, maybe you made a commitment long ago that I would put up with this for sickness or for health. And now, you're feeling that their mental health issues somehow got lobbed into that category. And then you're now taking the abuse. Maybe it's time to rethink your commitment and then answer to your heart, answer to your, what is really trying to be your truth and setting you free. Because, the worst pain you can have is the pain of regret, where you're just basically being so regretful, so remorseful. I have spent so much time. And, the other, to that tune, the most recent comment, frequent comment I have is, I wish I heard this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Why didn't I have this knowledge? Well, that's why I'm here, I'm on the channel and creating this information as a resource, as a lighthouse, as a place of privacy and a place of support and healing, and to help you, sort these things out and have that validation, because there is another side. There are other people who are not narcissistic, who are lovely, who are fun, who will embrace you without trying to take your pocketbook, who will, for the ladies out there, or men, who will love you without cheating, who will love you and appreciate you and tell you so, who will tell you look beautiful today even in your pajamas. You're just coming in with, dirt all over yourself from working on the outdoors. You sure look rugged and handsome. People who will appreciate you. Yes, there's our ideals. You might say, well, that could be a fairy tale peace and harmony. Well, if you know what you want, then it's up to you to be the creator of what you want. In other words, you need to then realize what it is and then make adjustments to find then that place within yourself to say, enough of the bad, it's time for the good. I have stayed with this too long, or long enough. The pain is great enough. So I would say that is one of the top comments. And it's also then, if this has been you, it's then to look at and ask yourself, why have I stayed in such a miserable relationship for so long? Oftentimes it's because in your previous relationship or even in your family of origin, there might have been alcoholism, there might have been caretaking, there might have been drug abuse, there might have been sexual abuse, something where you as a child had to take care of your parents. In other words, there was a total role reversal where you felt like you had to be the grown-up, you had to be the mature one, you had to hold the family together. You were constantly in the middle of fights, or, there was always a fear situation going on. The pipes were going to burst. The light bill was going to be turned off. We don't have any food in the refrigerator. We don't have any food in the cabinets. The car is out of gas, and you know the rest of the story. So-and-so is sick. I mean, whatever it is, you were not allowed to just be, you were in a state of hypervigilance or fear. So oftentimes this takes the caretaking role to then your next relationships, where then you become caretakers, and then as you get out in life, then you end up, over obligating yourself and kind of having this hollow out inside of not being able to receive. And so then the antidote to that is to understand then is that, you need to be able to receive the good life and what it means for you, not what it means on a false or narcissistic level, which is, on outside in. You really do have an inner North Star. You do have an inner guidepost of what it is that you truly like, what you truly want, what we call an authenticity. And authenticity will really get exploited by a narcissist or a psychopath. They will eat that right up. I mean, they will, pre-order 25 years of your, of your self-sacrifice. I mean, they'll hook you on the line for 25 years if they can. So it's okay to extract yourself from those abusive relationships. One of the most difficult things is you can hear about people with domestic abuse who have been through domestic abuse. They get beaten up, but then they go back. And then you have to ask, well, why that person is getting beaten up by this person, and then they're going back. So you have to kind of look at that and say, why? And then maybe, you can see it very clearly. I would say one of the most other frequent comments that I get is, I don't know what I want. In other words, they've been in this supply role so long that they only know what the other person wants, what the psychopath wants, what the narcissist wants. They don't, in fact, they've made their own wants such a deficit. They've pushed it down. They've suppressed it to such a high degree, or they were criticized for having their wants. In other words, why do you want to travel? Why do you want this? Why do you want that? Their needs were so shut down or extinguished that they no longer could believe in their wants anymore. They could no longer believe in their desires. They could no longer believe in their dreams. They didn't believe it was so. And so their desires then, they don't know what they want because all they know is taking care of others. People pleasing, if you will. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And, not ever being able to honor their authentic self. And it's unfortunate, but it's such a rarity nowadays. It seems that people can really live an authentic life, but you can live the real life, the good life, the authentic life, the truth, no matter what your socioeconomic status. You owe that perhaps to yourself. And empowered harmonizers, I have a feeling that is what you want. You just want to be authentic. You want to be real, and you want to be loved and valued for who you are, not who you pretend to be. And so it's just like you have to oftentimes put on the mask of happiness or put on the mask of wellness in order to be in a relationship or maintain a relationship oftentimes with a narcissist, because they don't want to be in love with or care for someone who is sick. It takes away from their good time. It's a downer to them. And so, especially in people who have, viewers who I've heard from and clients, is that, this individual was not there for them when they were sick. In other words, you can't stop your busy day, your busy schedule to give me a call, to say hello, to ask me how I'm feeling, to ask me how I'm doing. You're just going to be, checked out. You're just going to be doing your fun little life, and, they don't have any empathy. And I don't care, if they have red hair, green hair, brown hair, purple hair, brown hair, yellow hair, whatever skin, it happens in all cultures. And so one of the really, I think, most hurtful things is to hear that when, people who have been in relationships with a narcissist through either their spouse, their immediate family, or their extended family, that person is not there for them when they're sick. In other words, it doesn't make me look good. I don't have the time for this, and so, that's a good, that's a good indicator, is if this person can't, and oftentimes it's the counter side has been true, is that people who are the caregivers would do more than drop anything if the other was sick. Do you see how it does not go both ways? So I would say, and just for the sake of this video on a timely basis, I would say that is one of the two most prominent or popular or frequent or reoccurring comments or inquiries that I've received here on the channel. More to come. It's your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. Happy New Year! Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Cheers! Bush non-alcoholic here. What are you having?